post on Twitter. It says, "What do you think is the strongest album here?" So it's talking about albums that weren't received well. Okay, so yeah, we got it, and everything like that. So let me know you guys' top three down below. I can only speak for the albums that I've listened to. My absolute favorites out of these, I guess first we'll talk about Taylor Swift. You guys know I'm gonna land down. Of course, I'll get to Mariah, but I thought that the Lover album was very good. If we're looking at stuff like Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, that song being about like politics and high school, like I just thought it was so cool. I love the production on there. I think it's very different for Taylor Swift. I do. I think that it deserves more. Okay, and I was standing that song before the Eras tour. Okay, go back on my YouTube, Anastasia 25. I made a video years ago talking about how brilliant that song was. Okay, so I've been here. That's one of my favorite Taylor songs all time. Cruel Summer, it's a smash hit. We know it, we love it. We can move on, no shade. And Afterglow was a really good song on this album too. People hate on It's Nice to Have a Friend, but I said, you know what, it is. I'm sorry, like the production, like it felt like a palate cleanser to me. So I enjoy It's Nice to Have a Friend. I think that Lover the song is a really nice title track for this album, so you have to have some appreciation there. I'm trying to think. I know I'm going to forget something. Soon You'll Get Better, the one with the chicks about her mom's cancer. Yeah, it's a sad song to listen to, but you can really appreciate that as well. False God, yeah, every time Taylor leans into sexuality, it doesn't go well for her, but False God, this was one of the only times where it actually hits. So I enjoyed False God in this album. But then you had Stuff Like Me, which as a lead girl, we have to be serious. I agree. If any other pop girl would have released this, her career would have been cooked. Okay, so you had that. And I think that The Man, I'm just overhearing the song. I appreciate the message. I just feel like for me, it hasn't aged the best and everything like that. So you just have some songs and you're like, I don't know. I like Lover though. I feel like you guys overhate it. All the hate you guys give Lover, you should put that directly onto Reputation. Okay. So next up, let's talk about Mariah. So I like Charm Bracelet a lot. If I had to pick like a top three, it would definitely be my top three of all these. I think that Charm Bracelet, it was something that's an album for the fans. Like if you talk to a lot of Mariah Carey fans, they'll be like, this is my favorite album. Okay. And yeah, some fans act like, they're down because they like this album and everything like that, but it's really us Rainbow stans that are going through it. Okay. And I can't believe people thought it was dissing Rainbow that one video. I love Rainbow Down, but anyways, some favorites. The one, it should have been the lead. I've said it a billion times, and Mariah wanted it to be the lead, but no, they want to make Through the Rain the lead, so that is already irritating. But I like Through the Rain. I just think that the one would have been better as a lead single. Subtle Invitation, yeah, her getting into that kind of jazz bag a little bit, singing her ass off on Subtle Invitation. And then I also really appreciate stuff like Yours. That is a beautiful R&B song. Yours is really great. Lullaby Part 2 to the Roof was a great moment on this. Irresistible was a good moment on this album as well. So Clown, oh, she was dissing Eminem on Clown. A lot of people don't know that that is an Eminem diss. And yeah, iconic. So I liked most of the stuff on this album. Songs I wasn't really fond of. Boy, I Need You. I think the song that she sampled came out a year before. It was just too premature. It's just not really my favorite, and for it to be released in place of the one, I'll never forgive the label from what they took from us, because the one should have been it. So I'm not particularly fond of that song. You Got Me has grown on me, but probably still one of my least favorites if I'm keeping it real. I don't care for the Through the Rain remix, honestly. Like, it's fine. I just like the original better. Oh, I forgot to talk about Sunflowers for Oliver Roy. That's one of my favorites on this album, just talking about her relationship with her father. And, he passed away with cancer and everything like that. So just talking about that and saying thank you for embracing a flaxen-haired baby and just all that. It's an emotional piece. And Mariah has songs like that, like Petals, like Outside. I listen to Outside more than the other two, but there's some songs you listen to sparingly just because of how devastating they are in that way, but it's a beautiful piece. Okay, so I love Sunflowers for Alfred Roy. Okay, so yeah, Charm Bracelet, I'm fond of it. Let's talk about Ariana Grande. Why did they include Mariah twice? I'll talk about Glitter later. So Ariana Grande Positions. I like Positions. Has it aged the best for me? No. And in that, I mean, I don't listen to it as an album a whole a lot, okay? I'm mainly picking songs, okay? And it's probably slated my rankings. If I'm going to keep it real, probably still top three. Favorites, you have to talk about Shut Up the Song, the orchestration. I thought Shut Up the Song was great. Positions is probably one of my favorite leads by Ariana Grande. I just love the ending bits of it. The chorus was really catchy. Just Like Magic was a really good song on this album. Off the Table was good. You had My Hair, Safety Net. The deluxe tracks, if we're talking about Test Drive and Worst Behavior, it was good as her getting into her R&B bag a little bit in this album. So I liked it for that time. I think it's one of her better albums. I enjoyed it. I don't know. People kind of hated on it too much, at that time. And I think people are coming around to it more after Eternal Sunshine, but I like the album. And then let's talk about the Janet Discipline album. Like I said, she had a lobotomy. thoughts on this album? I mean, most of the songs are good. The only song I don't like is So Much Better because the voice pitching. But some favorites on here, Feedback, obviously a classic. It's really fun. Can't Be Good, I thought was a really solid song on this album. And then I also have to give some appreciation to stuff like Roller Coaster, like Rock With You. Those are good songs. I like the one with Missy Elliott. So more often than not, I do like this album. I think that it gets too much hate. Not saying it's one of her best, but I'm saying that it's good in her discography. So I actually like the album. And then we'll talk about the Dua Lipa next. This album wasn't good. It wasn't good. You know, I liked stuff like Training Season, for example. Okay, so I'll give some appreciation to that song, and I'm trying to remember the other songs that I like. I liked What You're Doing. I liked maybe 3 or 4 songs in this album. I listened to it. I reviewed it. I haven't listened to it since. Like, it's not a good album. So I'm just going to move on. So we got Mariah Carey, Glitter. Favorites on here, Lead the Way, Never Too Far, Loverboy. That's my holy trinity off this album. Didn't Mean to Turn You On, something that grew on me. I like All My Life. I like most of the songs in this album. There's some I'm not fond of. Don't Stop Fucking for Jamaica because Mystical absolutely ruins it. Last Night of Jesus Saved My Life is honestly probably my least favorite Mariah Carey cover. If I'm being honest with you guys, I'm just not that fond of it. I like it more often than not and everything. It has grown on me. It took a long time to grow on me. So for me, it'd be her worst album. Some people might say it's a challenge track. I don't know. She sings every single song. I consider it a part of the discography. It's my least favorite Mariah album. I don't think it's bad. However, taking so long to grow on me, I have to deduct points for that and everything. And I just feel like she has released better albums. But I don't think that it's bad. You know, I just think Charm Bracelet is a better album. I haven't heard this Nicki Minaj album. I don't plan on listening to it. I can't speak on it. This Lana album, I have not heard it. I've heard other Lana albums. She tends not to be for me, so I can't speak on it either. And then the last album is another Lana Del Rey album. Why was Lana included twice? I don't know. So let me know what you guys think of this albums, you know, everything like that. What albums were not received well that you guys really loved? You know, I've talked about Lord Solar Power. I really enjoyed that album, for example. So we can continue that conversation. You know, let me know your top 3 here. And yeah. But if I have to pick the strongest album here, I guess kind of harkening back to the original question and everything like that, I think I'm going to give it to Charm Bracelet. Actually. I think that Lover probably has more skips. Like, Lover's 18 songs. She could have whittled it down to 12. So I'll probably give it to Charm Bracelet ever so slightly. And then I'd probably say Lovers too. And then number 3, I'll probably give it to the Ariana Grande album. But let me know what you think below.